He's doing well. I've had better days. My Bills not great today. But, it is what it is. Part and parcel of being a Bills fan, that's for darn sure. Say hey and where you're from when you guys pop in. Well, I bring our Facebook people on. Why does that not want to stay where I need it? That's better. What's going on, guys? Just getting Facebook online. Bear with me one moment. Let me flip this. What's going on, Kiwi? Good to see you. What's going on, Bill? Life? Jim, Kristen, Yvonne, Gen X. Good to see everybody. There we go. Facebook is coming on. You have the flu. Well, that sucks. Got to be careful. The older we get, the more dangerous that is. All right, that'll bring Facebook on. How is everybody? Hope everybody had a great week. My Bills didn't do so well, but all things being equal, we're still in the playoffs. We lose the AFC East title for the first time in 5 years to my New England Patriots fans out there. God bless. Congratulations. You guys earned it. You had a great season, a great year. Let's hope one of us takes the Super Bowl this year. Drake May's a great quarterback. Got nothing but love for you guys, so we'll see how that goes. Not seeing comments moving yet. Could just be everything coming in all at once. You're here for the rum. What's going on? Good to see you, my friend. David, hello. Late Boomer here, December 1964, but raised hell with all my Gen X friends. I love it. It's popped out a new video. My young friend, Alexander James Rodriguez, actor, singer from over across the pond over in Great Britain. The kid crushed it on the first video collaboration we did, where he solved the Rubik's Cube among answering, I should say, a whole lot of questions about Gen X. I'm not sure if you saw the original video. Just posted a follow-up. When we get done here, everybody run over and check that out. Make sure you give them a follow as well. Dude, I love it when kids see us. I love it when Generation Z, hey, Jolette, good to see you. Andrew, what's going on, Gen X Goonie? I love it when the younger generation sees us and we can cross-generationally collaborate without just making fun of them. Gen Z gives me a whole lot of excuses, reasons to make fun of them. And I take it up on it sometimes, but I've always said I think it is a very loud and vocal minority that is all about that. Ernestine getting us going. As per usual, we do have a set scheduled goal tonight over on YouTube, $112.50. We get there $2 at a time with a better off debt. I want my $2. But Ernestine covered herself and 4 others, so thank you so much for that. Brian coming in from Patriots Nation. Dude, seriously, congratulations. You guys earned it. Doing awesome. I wish you guys all the best. I hope we're the ones that get to the Super Bowl and win, but history works against us Bills fans, so we'll just see how things go. What's going on, David Cox? Linda Duncan, hello. Doreen coming in from Tampa Bay. Linda, thank you so much for moderating over on YouTube. I appreciate it. What about this generation today? Honestly, I feel it's a lost generation. Dude, it's so cool that you mentioned that. I just did a video. There's a couple of videos. Now, this is the second that I've done with this kid. I keep saying kid. He is a kid. To us, he's a kid. He's 18 years old. His mom's a Gen Xer. She raised him right. The kid loves Gen X movies. One of his favorite movies is Scarface. He loves Gen X music. One of his favorite bands is Depeche Mode. Kevin, thank you for my $2. Absolutely doing awesome. He knows all his Gen X cred. He literally does my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepared to die, with a better Spanish accent than I have, which kind of makes sense because I'm Greek and he's Spanish descent. So, and coming in from Rachacha, good to see you. Matt coming in from upstate New York representing, good to see you. Maureen from Michigan. Gen Z being scared to put gas in their car. Yeah, Again, I think that's a loud vocal minority. I've got two Gen X girls. The one of the elder gens, two Gen Z girls. Wirehead, thanks so much, but dude, you owe 285 Canadian exchange. That doesn't work here. Travin, dude, I appreciate you dropping $2, and as per usual, he's covering another 18 people. Dude, we got off to a quick start over on YouTube. 3366. Appreciate you guys. Joyce C, poor Josh Allen. Yeah, again, listen, it is what it is. It's football. It's disappointment. It's pain. It's suffering. It's about as Gen X as you can get. Being a Bills fan is the perfect definition of being a Generation Xer, in my opinion. Thank you, Wirehead. It's knowing to keep your expectations low, reasonable, be able to deal with regret and suffering over and over again, and just not expect too much out of life. That's Gen X, and I'm a proud Bills fan because of it. Deborah Mott coming in. I'm debating if I should keep my VHS collection or make all of it a DVD. I don't think it's got to be one or the other. I know a lot of people that have taken their VHS and digitized them so they have them both ways. My Chiefs have been a disappointment this season for sure. Tammy Elaine, how are you? Good to see you. Bills fan, Cubs fans, Gen X fans. Yeah, I'm both. And it's painful, but it's pretty cool. Cindy Buckner, hello. Stacy Combs, how are you? Good to see you. So, yeah, you guys got to check out the most recent video. I keep going away from it. So, he's 18. I'm 55. We're doing a couple collaborations. I think it is so amazing. I love working with kids. Thank you, Joan. I love working with kids who get it. You know, he is squarely entrenched in being a Zoomer. He loves his stuff, but they like to look back at history and see things as well. Stacy, thank you so much. $10. Stacy covered herself and 4 others. Carl coming in from New England. So give the video some love. He actually solves the Rubik's Cube in the most Gen X way possible, even though we all know that he can actually solve it and I can't. I have a mental block. There's some kind of algorithm where you go clockwise, 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 and just I can't do it. Do I watch hockey too? I do. So even twice the pain. Although my Sabres are on an 8-game winning streak, can't believe I said that out loud. I'll pay for that one. Carly from England, not New England. Oh, then Carly, you'll love it. Check out the most recent video after the live. Alexander is from your neck of the woods, although I think he goes to school here in Miami. Big hello coming in from Texas. Janet says I would smash it. I've come so close to smashing this. I have a mental block. I can do one side, but I just recently realized that unless your side, so like if it's white here, this has to be white. But then on the next side, all the corners have to be green because all the corners have to match up with the middle. The more I learn about how I'm supposed to be able to solve this, the harder it gets. The more videos people send me, swearing to God that they're finally sending me the one video that makes it easy, the harder it is for me. I just can't do it. Yvonne says I can only do one side. True, I can do one side. If I sit here momentarily, I'll have one side done, without a doubt. But I just realized all one sides are not created equal. Unless the side is done, and then all 4 corners correspond with the color here. Like if this was all white, then the white piece here should have the orange color there. It's hell. It's absolute hell. Whoever, Mr. Rubik, whoever you are, I hate you. But I'll never keep trying. You just need 6 colors of spray paint, says Travin, and it's okay. Doreen says it's confusing with instructions. I actually bought for $9.99 at Walden Books in the Finger Lakes, or probably at that point in time, it would have been the Boulevard Mall in Buffalo, New York. I bought the $9.99 version of the book that was supposed to teach me back then how to solve it. Fast forward nearly 40 years, hey Kim, and I still can't do it. Janet says peel off the stickers. Problem is, that my version doesn't have stickers, so I'd have to break it entirely. Let's Trigger a Millennial just changed 2 squares on the Rubik's Cube. It's so much fun to watch them fail. Linda says, Mr. Rubik, I hate you. I do. I hate him. That's probably going to be the clip that Facebook and YouTube use. They usually will pull a clip out of my entire live and create a video around it. This one's going to be about my hatred of Mr. Rubik. Ann says I solved it once by switching the stickers. Again, that's not solving it. And Deborah says I bought the book. I bought the book too. That also is not solving it. Chris Collins says I gave up and peeled the stickers in the late 80s. Go Bills. Go Bills, Kevin. We're still playoff bound for whatever that's worth. We'll see. I always took it apart and put it back together again. Now, the only thing I'm good at that I learned how to do in the 80s is drinking. And speaking of that, hey, Cleo. Cleo! Cleo! Could you go get me a glass of ice, please? Thank you. Yeah, the only thing I learned how to do, Back to the Future or Top Gun, Elizabeth, that is tough. I tell you what, the only thing I learned how to do well back in the 80s was drink. And if we get to, I don't know, let's say a goal of 500 stars on Facebook, that shouldn't be hard. That's $5. Let's make it 1,000 stars on Facebook. And if we get to 100 on YouTube, nobody do it all at once. If you do it all at once, it invalidates the entire thing. I just want this to be fun. If we do, let me step over here. Tonight it will be Electric Melon. Electric Melon it is. So if we get to 100 on YouTube, we just jumped on YouTube again. We'll crack open this. MD 2020 Electric Melon. Does anybody have Electric Melon? I did the Orange Jubilee. I like the Orange Jubilee. I've also got Grape. Grape scares me. I've got Blue Raspberry, but that just thinks like it's going to come up all kinds of colors I don't want to deal with. Peaches and Cream. Sounds like it might get stuck in my throat a little bit. And that Red Grape. So I think we'll go with this. Kim says, I have the good Everclear. So do I, 190 proof. We drank that with some Jolt a couple weeks ago. Thank you, kids.
Yes, of course.
So I got the ice because I'm not a savage. We will do this, in a manner befitting civilized generations. But if we get to that, then we'll crack open the MD 2020. What's going on, Cleo? This is my little one. Those of you that know, that is Cleo. This is one of her best friends and neighbor, Violet. Do you guys know what MD 2020 is?
No, we don't.
Good. That is the answer, and that should stay the answer.
Well, I know what it is because you have it all the time.
Grape made me immediately feel ill. Grape is the one that scares me, but we'll see. Pam says, hey, Cleo. Dude, not the Grape MD. Hey, Cleo and friend.
Oh.
Hey, beautiful Cleo. Hey, Cleo and Violet. Tastes like lost memories. Tastes like regret. Tastes like bad ideas on ice. Tastes like things I wish I didn't do for $200, Alex, in a pink hue. Bye, honey. I love you.
Love you.
They're on Christmas break. All the kinds of colors you don't want to deal with. What's going on? Good to see you. Farmer81. Kevin says Everclear and Kool-Aid. The Everclear and Jolt was pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I only did a single shot, so I didn't get all kinds of crazy with it, but it looked good. Grape looks yucky. I think the problem is it's wine at the end of the day. And as a result of the fact that it's wine, the grape version of it just makes it really nasty. So there's that. Apple pucker. I remember apple pucker. I don't mind apple pucker. MD 2020 tastes like regret. Is that the purple drink? No, this one's the peach. I will say, let me step off camera for a second, just to show I've got it. Maybe that is the one. I don't know. This is the one more of you will remember. This is the purple one. This is the MD 2020 Red Grape Wine. You know what? At this point, if we get there, if we get the stars, if we get the super chats over on YouTube, I'll let the person who donated the most, and I'm hoping it's going to stay Travin, it'll be dealer's choice, and they can pick which flavor I consume in the last few minutes of our live. A Midnight Choir singing, will they have Morgan David in heaven? Dear Lord, we'd all like to know. That's awesome. What's going on, Cheryl? Want to visit Iowa someday. I would absolutely love to see the Field of Dreams in person. One of my favorite movies. Yay, purple. I don't know. This one scares me. This one I remember. This is the one that if I look at it, makes me throw up a little in my mouth. Just a little. So yeah, I don't know. This is the one that kind of scares me a little bit. Not because it's strong. Like people keep coming on my videos and saying, "Oh, dude, it's not even that strong. It's 20% alcohol by volume. It's 40 proof." I get it, but we're not doing shots of it. We're drinking bottles of it. We were drinking bottles of it at like 15 and 16 years old. Ernestine, another 5 people. All right, Ernestine, that ties you for the lead. But again, $2 at a time will get us there. I don't want anybody to push more than they have to. What's going on, David Brooks? I heard that Coke and root beer together taste like Dr. Pepper. That's possible. What's going on, Paula McDonald? Good to see you. JJ, Gen X coming in $4.99. Thanks for giving the Eagles fan a win. Stacy coming in with 2. Dude, we tried right up until the last second. I was screaming. First of all, if we didn't miss the extra point, talk football for a minute. We've had forever to find a decent replacement kicker. I'm in trouble. Bridget coming in with 5. We're 66% of the way to me having a major headache. Andrew says, no, I've never had MD 2020. It's bum wine. Bum wine because it was cheap. It was like $2 back then. I don't think it's even $5 now. So we called it bum wine because it was cheap. We called it bum wine because bums drank it because it was cheap. And also because bums were the ones we paid in order to buy it for us when we were underage. We'd give them a $5 bill. They buy us 2 of these, keep $1 for themselves. And there we go. Mikey says another version was Wild Irish Rose. Absolutely. Violet says I froze over there. That would be Facebook. Is Facebook frozen or are you guys seeing me? Average $5, says Linda. Thank you, sir, for your service. You're welcome. Brian, hello. Stacy donating memberships. What are we raising money for? So if you notice, I'll go to different conventions. I've got like 6 or 7 scheduled where I try to do panels and meet as many of y'all as I possibly can. Some of them help me out with plane tickets and hotel and stuff. Most don't at this point. I'm hoping it does, but that's all. It's just a way of me doing what I can to get out there. Hey, what's going on, Maddie over in Arizona? My best friend avoiding the cold. We avoided it pretty well here. It was 75 yesterday. Pretty nuts. So yeah, it's that's all it is just a way to support the page for those that want to, and it allows me to get out and meet more and more Gen Xers and stuff. So yeah, there's that. Let's hit that like button, guys. Helps the algorithm, especially for 3View Mirror. Thank you so much, Kevin. Appreciate you. Cisco was equally regrettable. Cisco might have been more regrettable. Except for Grape. I remember really not liking this. But Cisco might have been worst. Cisco might have really been worse. I don't know. There was more of a bite to Cisco. MD 2020 put the aftertaste up front. It was very honest about what it was doing. I feel like Cisco was sneaky. It came in sweeter, and the hit of the aftertaste came significantly after. MD 2020 put it right out there. It said, I'm cheap, I'm junk, and I'm just here to make you pass out in the middle of a field as early as is humanly possible. Cisco almost pretended to be a little more cool about it. So yeah, Cisco was a no, was a KO. What else we got? Tornado warnings in Chicago. Stay safe. Joan Berkney says we have had better kickers on our team. Dude, we had forever to find a new kicker. We had forever. Even our main kicker wasn't that great. He wasn't that awesome. But if it wasn't for that missed extra point, which doesn't fall on the kicker, it was blocked, falls on all special teams. But we would have won the game. But we got a Gen Xer for a kicker the first time around. I think. That guy looked like he was all of 50 years old, which is fine for a lot of things. Maybe not the NFL anymore. It is what it is. Mark remembers Night Train. Yeesh. I had to make a trip to the hospital after drinking Boone's Farm strawberry wine. Haven't drank wine in any form since then. That's the point. We just overdid it. And it was sweet. And it was easy to drink a lot of. Virginia, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Virginia saying, hi, I love your videos. Kim coming in from Virginia Beach. It's just the point was that it was sweet. It was easy for young kids to tolerate the taste. Yeah, kick the damn field goal. Mike, I had problems with the coaching all the way through. You're at home, you go for the point, you tie the game up, you put it into overtime at home. You're arguably the better team. In bad conditions at home, you take the extra point, you push it into overtime, you call it a day. I don't know. I'm not a fan of McDermott. I never have been. I think I'm not a fan of the front office. They've had 8 years to build support around Josh Allen, and now they're scrambling, putting wide receivers in and out now, trying to figure out decent receivers now. It's ridiculous. But, once a Bills fan, always a Bills fan. I don't support any one player or any one coach. I support the team. So it is what it is. I'll be here for them for however long it takes. What's going on, Sherry Ann, coming in from Florida? I did. Thank you so much, Virginia. I had a wonderful Christmas. A couple new things added to the shelf over Christmas. I can show some of those. First and foremost, some nostalgic little pieces of... Remember all these little mascots? I know they're still around, but we grew up with commercials about cereal being like every third commercial on Saturday morning cartoons. When Gen X was growing up, commercial cartoons were like pharma cartoons are now. If you notice now, every second commercial is a pharma commercial. When we were growing up, it was all about this. It was, thank you again, Ernestine, bringing me closer to Mad Dog. I think thank you. It was about Toucan Sam. It was about Diggum, for anybody that remembers Diggum, Sugar Smacks, And then finally, I got a Tony the Tiger. They're great. And this just reminds me of what it was like growing up as a kid. They marketed to us as children, and these mascots were part of a nutritious breakfast, or at least as nutritious as our breakfast got. So I got those in my stocking from Santa. I also got this in my stocking from Santa. But unlike the version I grew up with, this one is immediately transformed and easily transformed. Sue Klein, hello. Do you remember how the real Transformers, I don't know if you girls played with them, but us boys, the real Transformers were a nightmare. For me, absolute nightmare. I could not figure out how to transform them. You could sit there and follow the instructions, but that ruined the play. We were playing. We needed to get these like transformed on the go. So this newer one is a cheap, tiny little version of the actual, which I hope to find one day, but at least it transforms quickly. So that was also in my stocking. What else did I get? Is that it? Nope. One of my all-time favorite horror movies, because not only was it a horror movie, but it taught us to be afraid of dolls. It also ruined the doll My Buddy. Do you guys remember My Buddy? My Buddy. Yeah, Chucky destroyed My Buddy. And almost Optimus Prime. Absolutely right, Stacy. So I got one of these guys. Also in my stocking. Now, in addition to a stocking stuffing Christmas, my buddy JC, if you go over onto Instagram and look up Kryptonite Creations, I've tagged him in a few videos. I follow him. He sent me a care package. And first and foremost in the care package, I might have shown this already. Marie, thank you so much. Inching ever closer to hell. This came in my care package. And that's what the guy looks like outside of there. So it comes on a version of my logo. He's got literally the same hat on I'm wearing right now. This is what I give away. So a couple of the different conventions actually have me showing up as a guest now, for reasons I can't fathom. And these are going to be, I don't feel like, I don't know. I think it's weird for non-celebrities to sell signatures, or even to really charge for a selfie. But that's part of the fee I get covered when I go. I get a table, and they expect me to sign autographs and charge for selfies. I think it's stupid. I think it's weird. I don't like it. Any other convention I go to, you pull me over and stop me, and I'm more than happy to take a picture with you. But in this case, I'm like, if I have to do that, then I'm selling those. That way people can get me to sign something tangible. We'll take a picture together with you holding it, and then you've got an actual thing to take home. That hat is in better shape, says Deborah. Let's see. Bathtub Jen says, I'm putting together a bunch of memory stuff. For my siblings' 50th birthday, I have Skeletor, G.I. Joe, Boo Berry, Garbage Pail Kids, Bon Jovi, Whalers merch, and I need more ideas. Please and thank you. Ladybug, thank you so much. Oh, dude, you can't go wrong with any of the stuff that I'm showing. So that's number one. Number two, when you know what this toy is, let me know. I'm going to show you the accessories that come with it first. And then when you guys think you know what the toy is that goes with the accessory, let me know, okay? Number one, we have a leg. We have a dismembered leg. That's the number one accessory that comes with this Gen X era toy. A leg. Number two, we have a head. We have a head. How much is the venues cut from your sales? Is it a flat rate? I'm not allowed to even talk about it, to be honest. They have a contract, and they don't like any of us talking about it because I think different guests have different amounts that get cut in what they get paid to be there and all that good stuff, so they don't really want us to discuss it. Tammy Elaine got it already. Dude, that took no time at all. But I'm going to let the others play that haven't seen the answer. Number three is just a stick. Kevin got it. It's a stick. And why a stick? Well, why is there a stick, Kevin? Why is there a stick, Tammy? The dog. The stick is for the dog. What was it? Pippin? Pippin was the dog. And of course, finally, we have what's left of a little inflatable for the water, which means the toy is Jaws. My buddy JC made this, and this is available as well. It is Pippet. Thank you. Pippet. So Jaws, and then what happens is you just can take all of the accessories, stick them into Jaws' gullet. Pippet can be sticking right out. And the one thing he didn't get away with swallowing is right there. So that's it. I got this as well. So pretty cool. Alex Kittner. Yep, this would be Alex Kittner, or what's left of the poor little guy. So there we go. That's another toy I got. I got this. I think is very cool. And it's actually segmented, so it completely is posable in a million different ways. Hey, Julie Gilbert, how are you? Good to see you. I think this is awesome. Actually, I was with Julie at the last con that we were at with Blockbuster Video, and I actually got a ride on this guy. So I think this is super cool. And then going along with this guy, this is the Happy. Falcor is the Happy memory from that movie. I got an updated version of this. So the last one I had was basically the prototype. This is the actual version you can order from him. And this is the sadness. This is the pain. This is Bridget goes, no. Yeah, this is where it all went wrong. So not Ajax, Julie. Ajax would be cleaning detergent. This is Artax. And to Linda's point, it's just wrong. So there's this too. So a very, very blessed Christmas. I think that's everything. We pop them back. Make sure, but I think that's everything. That is everything. Although my daughter also got me this. I'm not one to play with Barbies, but Cleo said it's not fair that all the toys on my shelf are boy toys, even though I've got Lindsay Wagner, Jamie Summers. I'm like, well, that's kind of both. But she goes, no, you need something that's a girl toy as well. So she gave me a Barbie. But her Barbie is one that she thought I wouldn't mind displaying. So this is my Barbie. Chicago Cubs Barbie. If I gotta have a Barbie on my shelf, at least it's a Cubby Barbie. So I'm okay with it. There's that. 45s are Mr. Roboto by Styx, Peaches and Herbs, Shake Your Groove Thing, Tragedy by the Bee Gees, and one of those Turn the Page When It Dings storyboards, Superman. I miss managing Blockbuster videos. Yeah, one of the times, if I'm not going directly sponsored by a con, every now and then the Blockbuster Experience. You can follow them on Facebook. They have, you can just look up the Blockbuster Experience. They bring me in from time to time, and I've made content in their mobile Blockbuster store. And the cool thing is, it's an actual Blockbuster store. They are connected with the last Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon, and they have a ton of videos inside, and you can literally just buy DVDs and VHS for about $5. I think you pay like 10 at the door, and then all of the videos inside are discounted at $5 a piece. And they're actually run by people sporting little name tags like these, and inside you can get movies like these. And the best thing is there's no late fees because you pay $5, you own it, you can keep it as long as you want, and if you choose not to rewind it, you don't have to. So I think that's super cool. I have a good time whenever I'm out with Julie and the gang. Deborah says, I miss cartoons on television. Shannon says, I was a manager at Tape World. Dude, there were so many. Yeah, Scott Norwood action. I'm aware. There were so many of us that our jobs in our teens and 20s were Blockbuster Video, Hollywood Videos, local video stores, record stores, things like that. Travis says, I still have a VCR. Don't judge. Be kind and rewind. Kristen says, no. I don't know why no. Near Dark or Lost Boys. Dude, the fact that you would even bring up Near Dark. Honestly, as far as liking the movie on its merits, strictly the movie, the acting, the plot, the way it holds up over time, honestly, I'm going to say Near Dark. But if you look at who's in the movie, the actors themselves have developed over time. If you look at soundtrack, if you look at cultural representation in pop culture, then Lost Boys. But the Lost Boys crew doesn't follow me, and Adrian Pazdar from Near Dark does. So I'm giving it to Near Dark. Shout out to Adrian. Severe weather conditions in central Minnesota. Stay safe. Lost Boys are my friends. My dude, listen, even the title Lost Boys, I love the title because it's a callback. Think about it. The Lost Boys were the Peter Pan crew that never grew up. And vampires are Lost Boys that are never going to grow up. I think it's awesome. I love it. I think Gen X, we are Lost Boys. We are Toys R Us kids. We're going to grow older, but we're choosing, a lot of us, not to grow up. John, my husband's younger brother, rented videos on our account without our knowledge. He was rate returning them, went to rate movies, and were declined. I was ticked. I did that to myself a lot of times. Oh, that doll, LOL. Got it. Hopefully you all have a blessed and safe New Year. Thank you, Cheryl. Same to you. Same to everybody joining in right now. Ann says Minnesota stays safe. Same's true of Chicago. Elizabeth asks, the Goonies or the Lost Boys? It's different genres. Gun to my head, throw me on an island and say I can only have one of those movies with me. For the sake of how the movie makes me feel, I'll go Goonies, right? The Goonies makes me happy. It's if Gen X has a safe space, and we all know we really don't. If we had a safe space, it would be the Goonies. An innocent space that we can just stay in. Paula says Goonies is innocent. Absolutely. Janet says I never liked Goonies. Well, that's why they make different kinds of movies for different people, I guess. Now I'm thirsty. $78. No stars on Facebook. None. But anyway, I'm going to drink some melted ice because I'm thirsty and we haven't hit gold to punish me, so life is good. Cannonball Run on loop forever. I hear you, Julie. It's actually good. Lost Boys is edgier, but great music. Yeah, soundtrack. Goonies or Ghostbusters? Kevin, I'll go Goonies. It's going to be tough to knock off Goonies. I like Stand By Me as one of my favorite movies. Okay, if you're going to knock out Goonies, Carlos just did. I'll knock out Goonies and take Stand By Me. Matt says, your shirt just unlocked a core memory. Started singing it immediately. Dude, I love this stuff. If you go to johnxjono.dashery.com, there's a connection in my bio. I have shirts whose only mission in life is to unlock core memories. Julie, thank you. Oh, shit. Ernestine, you're done. No more. Ernestine, please. It's not fair. I said that it's not going to be one person getting us there, and you're single-handedly punishing me. T got us to 20 stars. So now we're 20% of the way there on Facebook, and 90. Oh, we're over the top on YouTube. So if Facebook pulls their weight and gets us 800 more stars, then Ernestine, you get to choose which flavor of Mad Dog I'm drinking. Let's see here. Why do I feel like I'm an idiot for proposing this? Because we almost always get here by the end without me punishing myself, but it is fun. And to be honest, I've been wanting to try it. All right, first flavor is Orange Jubilee. I've had this one recently. I bought 2 of these because this is probably the flavor I like the best. Best 80s movies ever, Outsiders. Stand By Me is here if you can see it. Outsiders is right there. So definitely 2 of my favorites. Facebook is catching up fast. All right, Orange Jubilee. And this is Ernestine making the decision. Electric Melon. Not a fan of melon. Julie, you are not allowed to single-handedly get Facebook there. Blue Raspberry. This is the one I remember vomiting because the color stayed the same going down as it did coming back up again. That is Jim Kelly right there. Absolutely. Yep. This one stayed the same color both ways. Now, this one looks like Orange Jubilee, but it's peaches and cream. The idea of cream mixed with wine in any way. Ronaldo, 500 gets us with Jason. Not only did it help, Jason just put us over. That's not helping, Jason. It's hurting. But yeah, and then red grape. So, Ernestine, what do you got? You get to pick one. Unless you throw it out to a vote, it's your call. Blue raspberry looks like Scope mouthwash. I don't remember what this tastes like. Why would I do that? I don't mind it if I'm being 1,000% honest. And I don't drink much. I don't drink very often at all. And the Bills lost, so I'm really kind of bummed. And I figured, you know what? The Bills drove me to drinking anyway, and I wanted to make it fun. Did Ernestine make a I haven't seen. Ernestine says peaches. All right, peaches it is. Let me put away the others for another day. Somebody just made Linda's day. Linda tends to think I get funnier when I drink. We'll find out. I'm just grateful it wasn't red grape. That one I will set a much higher limit for. Much higher limit for. All right. Peaches and cream. I don't know why this sounds just god awful. Tanya says makes me sink just looking at it. Barbara says nope. And what'd you think of the Outsiders? All right. Doesn't smell like peaches or cream. Smells like bad decisions. Higher limit for red grape. Yeah, much higher. Chug, 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 says Kevin. Ooh. Remember what I said earlier? That MD 2020 is more honest than the other versions like Cisco or Night Train. And what I mean by that is you taste the the aftertaste comes first. This is really bad. That's the face of regret, says Linda. Barbara says, peace be with you. Tanya Buckner coming in with, oh my, no. That's not a good face, says Gen X. Gen X fan? My vision's going blurry. Put a little Everclear in that glass. Dude, you would have to get me over 1,000 to do that. Not happening. Yuck, says lady. It is pretty bad. It is pretty bad. Kim Girardi, speaking of Blockbuster. Kim actually made this for me. Hey, Kim, good to see you. This is what Julie did for me. Julie says, drink some milk before you pee. What? Why? Is that a thing? I know. No. Let it hit 1,000. See, that's the kid. The person that just said let it hit 1,000 was the kid that was always chanting during the fights for somebody to get their ass kicked. He didn't actually enter the circle and fight. He was just the one on the outside yelling, fight, fight, fight. Hope you had a great New Year. Hope you have a great New Year. Well, I mean, a lot of people are not sad to see 2025 go. We've lost a lot of really great people. I personally lost people in my life. Dude, it's really bad as you drink more. Yeah, that's the way it goes. What was I saying? I think every year is going to, as long as we're here and remember the past that we grew up in and share our memories and share our experiences and be responsible caretakers of the past as there become less and less of us moving into the future. I think that's just the world we're going to live in. The people that we grew up watching are going to be exiting stage left as we take their place. Bridget Bardot died yesterday. I didn't know that, but that's my point. It's the way it is. Tammy says, am always the fighter. I was always the one that tried to break up the fights, if I'm being honest. And that got me in a lot of trouble. Because especially growing up in bars, if you try to, Joyce Freeman, I don't know if you're still on, she at like 15, 16 years old, I got in the middle of fights trying to break them up. And as a result, got in the fights. John is losing it all. Oh, no, John losing words from his vocabulary as he drinks. Which MD 2020 am I drinking? That would be peaches and cream. Azim says, I'll take a drink with you. Cheers. Stini Yamas. Cindy says, I would fight if I have to. That's Gen X. I don't think we pick fights. I don't think of us as an overly violent generation. I grew up going to bars. I grew up working in bars. My parents owned a bar. My brother owned bars. I probably spent more time both working and playing in bars than most people. And I can tell you generationally what's going on, Dean. A lot of the boomers before us, silent gen before us, especially the men, had these hair trigger tempers, and they'd be the ones getting into fights. I think Gen X more or less tended to kind of move into the background. We tried to make the better peace. I don't know what the new generations are going to look like. I think probably more of the same. Do I want to talk about the Bills game? We did a little bit. It is what it is. Jesse says we don't pick them, we finish them. And I think that's kind of the point. If driven to fight, I had very, very small friends, guys and women, not huge, nothing to look at. You wouldn't think anything of it, but if they got into a fight, God help you. First grape. Yeah, I had grape over there. I'm not doing grape. Generation of getting into a fight with friends and being friends right after. I don't know. Like I said, for me, I either got dragged into fights because my friends were in them, but even then I tried to make the better peace. Like the movie My Bodyguard. I love that movie. Chiefs are getting a new stadium. Yes, Sydney, moving into Kansas, though. So they're moving out of Missouri and into Kansas. So that's kind of cool. A lot of people probably didn't even know they're actually in Missouri. But yeah, they're going from Kansas City, Missouri to Kansas City, Kansas. We went from MD 2020 to Aftershock and Rumplemans. Well, that was it. Ian says, I'm counting your brain cells dying. Yeah, I got a few to spare yet. But yeah, we went from the easy stuff that we drank a lot of to the higher proof stuff that we didn't drink as much of. I remember going into a bar and ordering 151 and Coke because I didn't have a ton of money and I wanted to get drunk faster. So we went from this stuff, which is only 40 proof, to the 100 proof Rumpelmans, to the 100 proof Aftershock, 100 proof Goldschlager, to shots that we dumped into beers, like the flaming Dr. Peppers, flaming Dr. Peppers. This hit me pretty fast. Yeah, Emily, there was Aftershock was the red cinnamon version. And hey, Sarah, welcome for your first time. And blue was Avalanche, the blue Avalanche was the peppermint version. Avalanche was peppermint. Exactly, Kevin. I got it out. It took me a minute. Ray, go. Take care, man. Have a good night. Steve coming in with 100 stars. Thank you so much, man. T says we just did jungle juice. You know, whenever I mention drinking in a Gen Z video, a Gen X video, I'll always get people say, you know, not all Gen Xers drank. You're making it sound like we all drank. And I agree, not all Gen Xers did any one thing. But I think a lot of us drank. I think a lot of us drank early. I think a lot of us were kids that parents didn't watch them. When parents don't watch kids, kids do stupid things. So, yeah, I think a lot of us did drink. And if you're one that didn't drink, no judgment, but I would ask no judgment back. It's just part of our shared experience for a lot of us. I don't drink much now, unless you guys force me to. Guys got to do what a guy's got to do. $10, by the way, to get to the 112 goal that YouTube has up. Just saying, if anybody wants to, 5 people, $2 at a time, get us there. Appreciate you guys, honestly and truly. It was how our parents kept us. They gave us booze. No, I mean, my parents didn't give me booze. What they did is they gave me keys to the bar we owned and said, here, twice a week, you've got to go and mop and do a deep clean. And I was 16. The fact that it never occurred to them that I would invite 5 of my friends to come with me so that I could clean it in a fifth of the time and then drink the rest of the time. Not quite sure how that didn't occur to them, but it didn't. And a lot of us also at home just took what our parents had there and added water. My first drink was with my older cousins, Wild Turkey. That's tough for a first one. Jungle Juice would need you up quick. Sarah, thank you for the stars. Julie, thank you. Exactly, they enabled us. I just don't think we weren't the main character of the story. If anything, I say it all the time, as long as our parents provided us safe shelter, a roof over our heads, as long as they provided food in our stomach of their choosing, at least 3 times a day, and as long as there was clothes on our back, hand-me-down or not, the job was done. My parents loved me. They told me they loved me early and often all the time. But it wasn't the I'm going to be at every game you have, every play you take part of, every show you're in. It wasn't that kind of love. It wasn't I'm going to track you on Life 360 the way we do our kids now. We just were expected to be little ladies and gentlemen and take care of ourselves and not die on their watch. That's all. Sarah says first drink was rum and Pepsi at Thanksgiving. I was 12. 12 sounds about right. I think I drank on my parents' watch then. That's when they thought it was cute to let us take sips of their drinks. Thoughts on Zima? As a bartender, it was a pain in the ass. Because every girl wanted a Zima of a different color. And eventually they wanted you to find a way to have a color that nobody else in the bar would have. So you started playing around with things like blue curacao and sloe gin, Midori melon, and anything to come up with different colors. To keep the girls happy. And then eventually it became Jolly Ranchers in the Zima. It was just a pain in the neck. First drink was wine at dinner with ginger ale. Ed says sips of my grandpa's Budweiser. Dude, if you're Gen X, then either you or a friend of yours, I forgot how to count to $2. How dare you challenge me. Travin, dude, throw up a link, will you? So Travin is kind enough. He sent me this Gen X card clash, and I don't talk about it nearly enough. He doesn't pay me to talk about it. He is a ridiculously generous person, but this thing is so damn cool, and I don't think I talk about it enough. We actually broke it out on Christmas Eve and played, and the idea is it talks about all things Gen X. And it's one of those card clash games. Gen X is the world leader in sarcasm production. If you guys give me till tomorrow, because I may not remember today, I'm not challenging anyone, Wirehead. I will have a link to this in my link tree. Travin, one more time, send me a link. I know I've got one. I don't want to look for it now that I'm a little drunk. There we go. Let me grab that pin message. Okay, over on the, I don't know which side of the house that is. Facebook, YouTube, Facebook, on the YouTube side of the house, I've got it as a pinned comment. Check it out, guys. Seriously, check this out. It's just put together perfectly. The idea that Gen X is the world leader in sarcasm production. If you follow what Travin says to me in the comments, you will see how this is created. It even has all the multi-sided dice that a lot of us nerds used to use. It's got the cards in there. I think it's awesome. Again, he's not paying me to do this. I do this because I consider him a friend on here. He supports me equally as a friend. So check it out. There is a link over on the YouTube. I will have it linked in my link tree after the show. I dropped something, but I'm okay. All righty then. That gets at 152.13 over on YouTube and 1693. And they say 40 proof. When you don't drink, 40 proof apparently is still something because I can feel this. Do you remember St. Ides? I think it was a malt drink. Some people have mentioned it. I don't remember. John's falling. Get up. I'd really like to know why men like beer so much more than women. I don't know, Wenjo. I'm not, read a card. I can read cards. I'm not a huge fan of beer. It's okay. I definitely don't like IPAs. I don't like really strong beer. I'm a wimp. I like weak beer. I like light beer. I like light beer on a very cold day, on a hot day. Not a cold day. I like cold beer on a hot day. We can read some cards here. Dude, I don't know how you did this. Everything is so perfect. Even like the directions are like the lyrics on a cassette tape. Right where you need them. All right. Polaroid camera. And it's a picture of a Polaroid camera. This is our first selfie. Only took 5 minutes to develop, and we blew on it and waved it in the wind like that would help. My daughter just got her friend a Polaroid camera for Christmas, and they were, for the life of them, trying to figure it out, and it just chuck it out of the bottle? What do you think I am, a heathen? Oh, that was warm. I hate you, Steve Bondi. Oh, that was bad. Ooh, warm is not good. What were we talking? Beer. Here, we just talked about beer. Here's beer. 6-pack. It's a picture of beer. If you had a 6-pack of beer, then you were everyone's friend. At least for that night you were. Beer equals carbs, says Lisa. That was really bad warm. Dude, yeah. Stacy says never warm. Warm was really bad. Warm was really, really bad. Remember that aftertaste that I said MD gives you first? Especially warm. Linda's laughing. Linda likes it when I drink on camera. I don't know why. I don't think it makes me any different. Slap bracelets. Y'all remember slap bracelets? I don't have to be anywhere tomorrow. Slap bracelet, the most acceptable way to slap your friends. I will tell you, I said no big deal with the Bills game. It made me upset. We were this close. I just want one. You know, and I know this isn't I was shaking the card like a Polaroid picture. Was I really? All right. Here we go. Boombox. Tell me this isn't awesome. The music machine of the 80s. The only way to be cooler was to have a larger and louder boombox. Funny thing about these was, yes, I had one in our room and we listened to it plugged in and we taped songs on this off the radio. But if you were to take it somewhere and like show it off after Christmas, you needed like 14 D batteries. Think for a second. I want you to put in the comments, what is the last device you placed D batteries in? Do they even use D batteries? The last thing I put in a D battery and maybe was like those lantern lights. But before then, it might have been a boombox. Yes, I agree, Alan. When you're home in inclement weather with a sold-out crowd and you are arguably the better team, you take overtime and you move into overtime. The fact that they went for 2 points when Josh has not been connecting with his wide receivers all night, I don't understand it. But I will tell you, I'm not a fan of Coach McDermott. He's had Josh Allen under his wing for the better part of 8 years now. has not been able to get there with great talent, couldn't coach great talent like Diggs, who arguably was a pain in the ass, but a strong coach could put him in his place, much like New England is doing. I think McDermott is like Levy light. I don't like him. And our front office has had 8 years to get a receiving core around Josh Allen, and they're playing whack-a-mole with people like Coleman trying to figure out who to put in place now. Anyway, people are saying the last thing they put in was a flashlight, paper towel dispenser, boombox, surgical devices. I like fruitcake. Okay. Maybe I am drunk. I don't know how. Okay. Blockbuster pinball takes D batteries. There goes Julie Gilbert. All right, ready? Aquanet. Dude, the fact that he took time for pictures for all of these. Travin, this is awesome. Aquanet. Who didn't use this stuff in the 1980s? We don't need no ozone layer. I'll grab one more. Parachute pants. There was a time when you didn't own nylon pants with a dozen zippers. If you didn't own nylon pants with a dozen zippers, did you even exist? I had parachute pants. I loved my parachute pants. That's the idea. I won't get into how you play, but even if you did nothing but read those, that's fun. So I think it's cool as hell, obviously. Thank you, Travin, man. Appreciate you. What time is it? Been on 55 minutes. I'm not going anywhere. We got almost 100 people in YouTube side of the land. That's pretty cool. Members only jacket. I've got one hanging over to my left in light blue. Aquanet. Barry, what's red and black? Had a pair. Aquanet stiff stuff was way better. I think all my friends, all the girls I knew used Aquanet or Rave, one of the two. And they all had their favorite color. There was the white can, there was the red can, and there was a purple can, and they all liked different ones. Epically cool shirt, brother. Thank you, Chris. My own design, I actually kind of mixed things together to get it look right with the logo underneath and the little girl yelling, yeah, and I have 69 on Facebook. Dropped to 46. Facebook is dropping. It's time for another drink, says Tammy Elaine. Purple can was the regular. Red, yellow, blue, whatever. Just keep bringing me that. White can, says Lola. Extra hold, says Lola. Yeah, you use the members only jacket in your Christmas video. You're right, Amal. I did. My sister used it in the bathroom after leaving the bathroom. My stepdad went to the bathroom, usually smoke while he's in it. Oh, yeah. Dude, the girls' locker room, or the girls' bathroom more specifically. Girls' bathroom in high school, I remember the big joke being they all smoked in there. So I graduated in 1988. My older brother graduated in 84. His was the last senior class to have a smoking lounge. And I'm not talking an area outside where the kids smoked. I'm talking about an actual lounge in the school, a room in the school that was in front of God and everyone, designed for seniors that were on honor roll and had an honor roll pass to be able to go in and smoke. After his class graduated, they stopped it, but our classes after, the bathrooms all reeked of cigarette smoke. They didn't even try to stop the kids from smoking in there. That's because the teachers were busy smoking in the teacher's room and they didn't have time to police the bathrooms. The fact that no girl blew up in the high school bathroom is crazy to me. Did you guys hear that? I graduated in 89, but the class of 88 was really easily the coolest. Smoking area out back of our school for the kids that smoked. I never smoked in high school. One night we should dare you to mix MD 2020 with another. Steve, you really care for me, don't you? I can see that. I appreciate that. Class of 88. Yeah, I didn't smoke in high school. By the time I started bartending in college, I'd already been bartending for my parents' bar since I was like 16. And there was so much smoke everywhere. You reeked of smoke going home anyway that eventually I just started bumming smokes off of people who are bartending. And then I'd only smoke when I worked. And then I'd only smoke when I drank. And I drank a lot at work. And as a result, I think everybody just started smoking, but not in high school. Lisa says smoking lounge was closed after someone set a couch on fire. Yeah, that would do it. Class of 92 in Olean, New York. Also, Alan, I can pronounce Olean, so that lets you know about where I grew up. In reminds me of the great outdoors. 66 times in the head. I thought, was it 66? 6 times. 66 times in the head. Yeah, 66. Steve says he's just joking. I don't believe him. Thoughts on troll dolls and how many did you own? I never really owned one. For where I grew up, troll dolls, we really only had the troll things that went on the ends of pencils, and it was more of a girl thing than a guy thing. No judgment, just the way it was where I grew up. He's in max headroom mode. No, I'm in peaches and cream because Ernestine picked it, and y'all hit my goal mode. And Linda, before you ask, I'm not doing this every week, unless the Bills lose again next week. Ed says I was a social smoke. In the Army, would wake up wondering, why did I smoke? I wish I could be a social smoker. I quit smoking March 20th of 2020. So if you guys remember the early days of COVID, doesn't matter what side of politics you're on or what your beliefs on the matter are, not asking about that, nor do I care. But in those early days, most of us, especially those of us that were reading Stephen King's The Stand, when COVID happened, I was reading it for the third time when COVID happened, so it scared the hell out of me. I remember leaving my groceries outside for like an hour and wondering whether we should bring them in, kind of scared. And somewhere I read that if you smoked and got COVID, that it would be like breathing through lungs filled with broken glass. And it scared me out of smoking. It literally was the worst thing I've ever done. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. I could throw up a link that shows you the blogging I did while I quit. I complained about it every day. I was miserable for like 4 months. Hated my life. But I decided I was done. And I decided I was done no matter how much it sucked. And now, six years later, I still think about it, but it's just thinking. It's not really a desire. But if anybody wants to quit, I got 2 things to tell you. It could suck, but no matter how badly it sucks, only takes one thing to quit. Don't ever put another cigarette in your mouth. That's it. It's literally as easy as that. And if you want to quit smoking, quit smoking. And if you don't, well, that's you. You do you. Yes, lungs took a huge hit with COVID, but I mean, I could look up. It's literally, I think, hundreds of thousands of cigarettes that I've not smoked. Every March, I put up my stats. It's ridiculous. I smoked a pack and a half a day and quit cold turkey. Captain Trips. Yeah, Mel, for sure. But again, listen, believe what you want. That's fully fine. I wasn't bringing it up to start a discussion on whether COVID was something we should have taken seriously or not. It's all on you guys. But Tanya says it perfectly. All it takes is one cigarette to start again. And that's why I've never had a single puff off of a cigarette since I quit on March 20th, 2020. Because I know one and I'll be right back again. Patch worked for me to quit, says Nancy. For me, the patch dragged it out. And my willpower wasn't strong enough for all the step downs. Bet you drink more since you quit smoking, says Bernadine. This is probably the first drink. Linda, when did I have a drink for the 3-View mirror? Was it a month ago? If I drink one drink a month, it's a lot. I don't drink at all. I drink less, if anything, since quitting smoking because I associated smoking with drinking, so I don't enjoy it as much. The patch and the gum never worked for me, says Ernestine. It's different for everyone, but the idea is don't smoke. If you want to quit. Hey, Edward Duck. Honestly, it's as easy as that. Accept the fact that it's going to be tough. Accept the fact that you're going to be miserable and that you're going to go through withdrawal. But if I'm being honest, when I look back now and read all the things I wrote, and I wrote daily, I was the perpetrator of my own pain. I made it harder than it needed to be because I wouldn't let go of it. I was angry over the fact that I felt I had to quit and never owned the fact that I chose to quit. Give up tobacco was prescribed on weed. I just, like I tell my kids, my 21-year-old, not my 13-year-old, if you're going to do marijuana, just chewables, find a different way to do it. I truly don't believe anything belongs in your lungs but air. Smoke in any form, vape, anything like that, not good for your lungs. I watched the Old Little Rascals the other day. They actually said, let's play outside with buckwheat. Of course, you're the slave. Dude. Yeah, they're pretty savage back then. I bet the desire to drink 3 years, but yes, better. I get the desire. Oh, and that's all it is. It's this memory of something we've given up. It's not really a craving. Oh, Lord, says Ed, I remember Purple Passion. Joan says, I quit for 5 years, one smoke when I was drunk, pack a day in 3 weeks. So the science behind that, and this is the end of it, I won't bore everyone that doesn't smoke, but your brain builds receptors to take on the nicotine that comes in. And the more you smoke, the more receptors your brain builds. And when you quit smoking, those receptors eventually go to sleep. They never go away. They just go to sleep. And the minute you have one cigarette, all of them wake up. And they start partying like it's 1999 and began demanding all of the nicotine they used to get. So one cigarette, in all honesty, can put you right back to wanting that pack and a half. My dad quit in the 80s, and 20 minutes later, sent my brother to get cigarettes. One of the things I will say that I did when I quit is I promised myself, if at 90 years old I want a cigarette still, I've given myself permission to have one at 90. I chucked a whiskey bottle at a cop car in pursuit. Okay. I used to make homemade baked edibles years ago. All right. That was Linda. Food was better back then too, says Wenjo. I think everything was better back then. Got to meet the Little Rascals when I was 17 or 18. They were really cool. Smoked for 13 years and don't miss it. Good for you. I keep talking about it when I said I was going to let it go. I don't miss having to leave the theater and miss parts of the movie because I can't not go through the whole thing. I don't miss having to leave family events to go outside and have a cigarette. I don't miss any of that. I miss the idea that I wanted it, I guess. I don't know. What I do miss is the quiet. Okay, so as somebody that has ADHD, the one cool thing was cigarettes and whatever it was in the chemistry, the nicotine really did settle me down. A cigarette settled me down better than anything I was ever prescribed or any amount of caffeine. Caffeine's the only thing that comes close to that. But one cigarette really did just settle me down in terms of the ADHD. It cleared my mind immediately. Ernestine, this is god-awful. I got to know, have you had this flavor? Is that what made you choose this flavor? What car chase movie is better, Smokey and the Bandit or Blues Brothers? Smokey or the Bandit or Blues Brothers? Kevin, how am I going to answer this? Wirehead, how am I going to answer that one? Still can't believe smoking was allowed on planes. Edward, allowed on planes. Allowed in emergency rooms, allowed in waiting rooms, allowed in offices, allowed in the malls, allowed in banks. Plus, it was a great outside to go outside for a minute alone. Absolutely. Yeah, I've never seen Blues Brothers. I've tried. Linda answered it. She knew as well. I've tried. I think Blues Brothers is one of those movies you had to see in the moment. Because now coming at it as a 55-year-old man trying to see it for the first time, without the nostalgia of having seen it then, it just doesn't hit. I've had although I will say, do you guys know what movie trilogy I just saw for the first time? My wife was so happy. For 23 years, she's been trying to get me to watch a 3-part movie. Give it time. It's good. Saw it a few years ago. I just saw the Godfather movies for the first time ever. And dude, it was awesome. Godfather Part 1 and 2, dude, it is so good. Those movies should absolutely win awards. I was shocked at how good those movies were. I have to say you downed that bottle like a champ. To be fair, I'm not done yet, but I'm close. Really, really good. How did you wait so long? Because you get to a point where you don't see a certain movie and then it becomes a thing that you haven't seen it. And you don't want to give up that thing. Because whenever I told people I'd never seen The Godfather, they'd react like you did, saying, how could you never have seen The Godfather? I just never had. Loved Goodfellas, loved Scarface. Somehow I missed The Godfather. Part 3 sucked. Part 3 made me angry. Both the coda and the original version, I saw both, but 1 and 2 were awesome. Part 3 was definitely Ed. But I'm shocked at how good they were. You know when people tell you you need to see a movie? Like Blues Brothers, they're like, you've got to see it. It's amazing. It's awesome. 20 minutes in, it didn't grab me. I couldn't do it. I was afraid that that Godfather is going to be the same way. But, dude, got me from the first minute in. Lola, you got to see them. I'm telling you. Take a day where you can set aside like 10 hours and just watch them. The 26th, the day after Christmas, one of my gifts to my wife, I also bought her some very nice earrings, was to sit down and watch the Godfather movies with her. And we spent 10 hours together where we cleared the docket and we just watched the Godfathers together. It was awesome. All right. $1.52 over on YouTube, $16.93 in terms of stars over on Facebook. And I'll be honest, I'd like to cancel and turn off this live, not cancel it, turn it off. Never saw Blade Runner. I don't think that I have either. That's a good one to watch. HBO called what is the Godfather epic. Part 1 and 2 edited together in the order they should be. I'll watch that. Tracy Patterson, have a good night. Now, saying I'm ready to go, but I just want to finish this before I do. But, for anybody that says that this is weak, I'm going to be taking a nap shortly. I'll show myself out. Linda says I killed that bottle. I did. Probably going to do the same to me. Cool setup. It's been a very long time since I've seen the Godfather movies. Dude, you know what I loved about it is it was so cool to watch movies that started in like the 50s and then moved into the 70s and just showed us it was such a great era piece. I thought it was awesome, and yet it was still really pertinent. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Yeah, I'll be going to bed early tonight. Ed says, have a great night. Thanks for the Sunday Night Lives. Dude, it's my favorite part of the week. Thank you. Brian says, rather watch the Blues Brothers over the Godfather movies any day. I don't know. Godfather is pretty cool. We've all got a Fredo in our lives. Ground control to Major Tom. What's funny is you spelled Major Tom wrong, and I'm the one drinking. Top secret or real genius? Let's go with real genius. Linda asked about the review tomorrow. No, but I might go live myself. I know that Chris is out of town. And, just the whole New Year's thing, after Christmas thing, we're taking a 1-week break. But we will return on my watch a week following. You would be in commercials because I've never drank and you made that drink look good. I promise you, there's nothing good about it. 100 stars. Thank you so much, Edward. Real genius because it's a moral imperative. That was Wirehead. Shell off as well. Yep. So maybe I'll go live tomorrow just on my own. We'll see. Or we'll do a 3-view mirror where we just kind of, I throw stuff out at you guys. Who knows? We'll see. Take it easy, Dorian. Good seeing you. Witness was a great movie. Agreed, Brian. Porky's or Meatballs? Porky's. Meatballs was good, but Porky's is the penultimate version of what an inappropriate Gen X movie was. Porky's, good night, Ian. Porky's was the movie we had no business being in the theater, but most of us saw it in the theater. Most of us didn't watch it after the fact. It wasn't one of those movies you would really watch later on in life. It was just like the perfect movie that they knew young kids would be watching it. And the hijinks and the stuff that happened was pointed at us, but at the same time, tons of rated R formatted stuff coming at us at the same time. See you next year, Deborah. Guys, listen, as we finish up, I'll leave it up to toast. Here's to a Happy New Year for all of you guys. I hope that 19? No. I hope that 2026 finds us all happy, healthy, and I hate you for this. I hope that 2026 finds us happy, healthy, and prosperous. That it is a great year, that we move ahead, we move forward, and that is the best year for all of us as we move ahead in time, as we get 1 year older and hopefully 1 year better. I hope we remember, no matter how old we get, that we've always been as old as we're ever going to be, and we're still as young as we've ever been. New year, one with a different version of the Dick Clark ball coming down, and yet still a good one. I hope you guys had an awesome time. Barbara's laughing at me. Definitely have time traveled. Love you guys. Have a good New Year's Eve. I'll see you soon. Might be on tomorrow. Otherwise, I will see you all again next Sunday. Who's getting older? No one's getting older, Don. On another version of the Sunday Night Wonderful World of Gen X. Love you guys. Peace.